Hey, how's it going? Today is 21st of February, Wednesday, and we are taking a look at the market, what kind of opportunities are available there in the city. Let's take a look at. I thought I'll close on that, but let's take a look at another opportunity. That would be accessibility solutions for disruptive journeys, right? Just because in today's days, I'm taking a look at the sensors, and Sunday I have a chart, one of the universities with regards to perhaps we can run with sensors. Perhaps we can suggest very similar solutions, right? When it comes to disruptive journeys, sensors, how those journeys would to be disrupted in the first place. So that would be something that's happening right now in some other parts of the world. Even medical professionals within South Korea, I think they have walked out because of the government and or pay and many things, right? So that's why disruption would happen within medical field, right? People walking out. It's something I have highlighted previously, right? If you would lock this person in a box, right? And if you the person can walk out from that box, perhaps sensors would solve all this problem. That would be prevention measures in the first place of needing a person there. Even better. But I don't know all the details right myself. I'm just brainstorming some ideas, I guess. Let's delve a little bit deeper and trying to understand this opportunity. And that would be potentially a quarter of the million available, right? So not necessarily that might be too much. So there might be a cost of the problem, right? Perhaps that's a way of the organizations or businesses taking a look at. I would define it as logistical, right? Issue. So to say, price tag of this problem to be addressed would be quarter of the million, as well as there might be 100% of funding available, but depending on what kind of work to be carried out, right? Myself, I might put something together when it comes to sensors, perhaps after the disruptive or preventive measures in place. Well, I haven't read it yet. Let's delve a little bit deeper, right? This is a small business research initiative, right? I'll skip some information. It's not necessarily relative, right? You should your solution can take into consideration the user's need and reference. Okay, minimize or remove any discomfort by providing interim support for possible disruption. Okay, okay, discomfort. So that would be people strikes. That's what we're referring to. Removing that. So perhaps need of people there. So sensors can be potentially monitor and oversee a lot of things, right? Perhaps. New technologies, I don't know. There's definitely pushback when some of those might have a lot of issues, right? The people sometimes better in the way you do it, and let's first make available one of the more alternative ways to complete the journey. Okay. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. Perhaps we take a look at a quarter of the million. Perhaps I have so many different ideas, but let's low risk. So a couple of sensors, even if we pay just for materials, right? So it's not necessarily would be very expensive to purchase those lasers. So to say, perhaps some of those lasers can be very expensive, and just limited the number of suppliers would be able to sell those. If we take a look at lights, right? So perhaps showing the way would that give comfort? We can do some lighting on the floor, right? 3D images where instead of having a person, that would be a person holding a torch. I'm joking around. Well, even that would give a level of comfort, right? Instead of having a need of a person being there. I think some other people are already doing that, not necessarily within the UK, but different parts when it takes the political elections, right? For places like India, where people would be there, not necessarily themselves, but there would be a hologram of those people. Would that give comfort? Return back to the starting point of the journey. Okay, I don't know all the details. Perhaps they're referring to a very particular instance, right? Myself, I'm just running around as of now with a similar idea of having sensors in place. not necessarily that would fit with everything what's outlined within the project, right? They might consider, I don't know, the calling in Uber. Perhaps that's what they are referring to. There is university, right? So perhaps myself that will be coming into this as industry, right? And then industry would collaborate with the university. University, as of now, there is one within Bristol. That is not necessarily limited to that particular university or research institution, right? And then I can license this kind of work that we can complete to different organizations, right? That could be potentially the way how a contract can be structured, but either way, that's really just an example, right? We would. I prefer solving real problems. I don't know about giving comfort with the holograms running around. No, giving comfort, solving real problems. Perhaps we can take a look at congestion times where the sensors know keep a track of how many people are entering some of the train stations. Even if we take a look at trains, right? And perhaps reducing those times and optimizing some of the routes within trains. So real problems, right? Holograms might be fun, but if it costs money, not necessarily that's optimal. Let's take a look at scope. Something that I have taken a look at previously, right? That really the aim of this competition is to develop accessible and inclusive focused solutions, physical or digital, to support transport users and journey is disrupt. That's a very particular problem. So this is where they would narrow down. So after that happened, okay, what's follow up, right? So not necessarily what I'm suggesting would fit within what they are looking for, right? But from what I understand, this opportunity is live. So if you have any better ideas and you can actually deliver those, there's the opportunities there. Your solution will provide the alternative options when journey is disrupted, like calling a taxi, right? For users who may experience difficulties accessing and or using a case transport network, it will enable them to continue their journey in a safe and comfortable way. Okay. We encourage solutions which can be used across multiple transportation modes throughout the whole door-to-door journey. Okay. Your project must develop a solution which can provide the near instant request of application with the use of real-time or pre-emptive situation. Develop solution with target accessibility or inclusive perspective and embedded within the considered how to propose solutions would benefit the impact of aspects of accessibility and inclusivity. I don't know, perhaps they have an idea of what they would like to solve and how we're gonna look to do that, right? Alternatives to, I don't know. It's the problem itself is very niche. Why they would be looking to offer that much of the support for very niche problem, and they would narrow down so much. But that would be my own feedback, right? State where the solution will be used to a single multiple transportation mode, so detail how the solution complies with the UK accessibility standards, guidance, and legislations required. Your project can consider national and or local approach. Propose how your solution can be used multiple transportation modes or adapt across the whole journey. Contracts will be given to successful applicants. Either way, it doesn't really matter, right? So there would be people there that was hired, and they will be assessing based on the application what you would like to solve, right? Or we're just brainstorming some ideas, right? If we were to take a look at sensors, not necessarily what they would be looking for, perhaps there might be some different ways. But again, it would disruption that would come back to people, not necessarily movement of goods, right? So again, so that would be very narrowed down, right? Even goods and that route, if it was disrupted, perhaps I don't know. Yourself, if you're interested in learning more, I have published a journal or a system where I'm taking a look at time and optimizing and management of time. That would be inflow and the way how it would be structured around time. So it would be a quarter. 70 days would be optimal. 90 days would be more than enough to develop a habit. That would be 90 days if you were to work from cover to cover. Within that time period, every page would be 24 hours. So that where you yourself you can take a look at the very important areas. So that I would define into a number of areas what I believe would be very important. I will highly recommend sticking with those before making any changes. and try to understand why I would be looking at those areas before making any changes. Some of those areas might be more important based on your personal circumstances, but starting with those and progressing and making changes afterwards. If it's something yourself you're interested in, there's going to be QR code in the corner by the south side below. Let's take a look at the prompt that I have put in, right? So it would be way of solving some of those problems, right? So we not necessarily would fall into some of the existing projects, right? And something that people already doing, right? Which might be important for some people. So it might be unique kind of thing, as well as this information doesn't mean that much. I would say perhaps execution would mean everything, or that's just an argument perhaps. But either way. So let's take a look at 10 ways of solving this particular problem. And yourself, if you're interested in solving this problem, perhaps that might be an opportunity for you. Mobile applications for real-time updates. Okay, I would see that with sensors, inclusive transport hub, creating an inclusive transport hub equipped with accessibility facilities. Okay. Perhaps that might be worth considering, as well as repair assistance network. Okay, so would be bigger, larger, more inclusive opportunities, as well as virtual reality training for transport staff. Okay. Staff again, it will come back to people if we can. I would, if it was me, I would rather eliminate this need, right? And I think in the long term, that would solve a lot of issues of having persons or staff that perhaps having virtual reality holograms instead of people, right? And those holograms can take care of that if we take a look at sensors, right? Personalized journey planning tools. Maybe those could help. Accessible communication channels. Okay, it's not that hard to do, I would say. So perhaps it's something to consider to those organizations. Integration with the local communities. Okay, universal design principles. Okay, let's progress. Multimodal transportation solutions as well as user centric testing and evaluation. Okay, so that's just different ways of how to solve this problem, right? Funding is there, potential solutions are there, and they're just looking for people who might be interested in solving some of these problems, right? That's all that. Thanks for watching. See you next one.